Hello everyone, my name is Richa Mahajan, Assistant Professor from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Jagannath University, Jaipur. Today, my topic is editing online documents, strategies and tips. The basic of editing online documents, the issues, skills, strategies and processes. Practical tips address editing the following: non-sequential content, structure and navigation, links and online writing styles. Most of these strategies and tips apply to both online technical documents and journal purpose web pages. However, they do not apply to PDF or PostScripts documents that are posted online for printing purposes only. Next is Next is new skills and strategies. For online content to succeed, you must engage your readers while delivering the information they need quickly and efficiently. Working with or being a good online editor is essential. Good online editors understand this new medium and how it differs from print. They know which principle of editing to carry over from print and which to discard or modify. They grasp the opportunities and pitfalls of hypertext. They also understand the tools of this medium and at least the basics of how to use them. In many ways, the task of editing documents for online presentation is similar to editing for print. However, there are some important differences. Online documents must facilitate reading on a computer screen and also must accommodate scanning and non-sequential access by readers. To achieve these goals, online editors should understand how the traditional notions of audiences, purpose, and organization differ on online media. What constitutes effect, online writing style, organization, tone, and so on. What makes useful link, which includes using how many links to create, what to link to, where to place links on the pages, and the style for wording link text. The basics of HTML coding, or at the very least, the capabilities and limitations of HTML. The basics of working with known text content such as images and sound files, the principles of effective design. For online documents, the editor might or might not handle web design. However, the editors and designers' efforts should always complement each other. At the very least, the editor and designer should understand each other's objectives and constraints. Next is role of the online editor. Ideally, an editor should be involved in the development of online documents from the earliest stages of planning. This strategy allows the editor to contribute expertise in adopting the editor's perspective as well as information design skills. If editors get involved too late in the process, it is likely that all they can do is clean up work, fixing typos, inconsistencies, and so on. It is also more likely that print materials will merely be recycled online without taking into account the unique features of online media. Below is a recommended process for editing online documents. Identify the document's readers and purpose. Think about your readers' need and their reasons for accessing the content. At the same time, consider discarding and the strategy of identifying primary and secondary audiences, as well as the dualistic model of novice and expert. In the online world, these concepts might be simplistic and outdated since hypertext can address the needs of multi level audiences. Number two, define the document structure and links. Devise a structure for the online documents that suits its audience, purpose, and content. The structure should support online readers' preference for scanning sequential content. Define the style for screens. Work with the designer to define the style guidelines for the screen that users will see. Use templates to save time and to reduce inconsistencies. Devise guidelines for online writing styles. These guidelines can help make your online document a uniform style. They also enforce a similar tone for all external documents. Do comprehensive editing, review, and edit for non sequential content. structure and navigation, links, writing styles, and visual designs. If possible, begin these tasks early on and repeat them throughout the development cycle. Do copy editing. Beyond the usual task, copy editing online documents also involves checking for consistency in visual designings and testing links. Assist with usability testing. Editors can serve as form formidable usability testers, and they should be part of this process. However, others should be involved as well. Being too familiar with a document can lead an editor to miss usability problems that others might spot. Test the task that readers probably will want to perform. Check the navigation is easy and intuitive, and evaluate reading comprehensive. Help with maintenance. The editor might not be responsible for maintaining content over time but could play a role in the process, especially when content changes arise. Next is editing non-sequential topics. Effective hypertext forces writers and editors to discard traditional notions of paragraphs, flow, and sequential organization, which are required in quality and printed documents. In hypertext, users or creators their own transition through associative and navigational links. In effects, readers create their own transitions as they move among sections of a document. The downside is that sometimes context is lost, which means that readers might get confused or disoriented. Therefore, online documents should support non-sequential, sequential, and sporadic reading. This strategy requires that the document is broken up into coherent, self-contained topics that are understandable if read out in sequence. Make topics short and self-contained. Each topic should address only one main idea and not require the reader to have previously seen any other part of your document. To counter loss of context, repeat contextual information on each page when needed and provide links to related information. Remember that reader dislikes scrolling through many screens of text. Next is tips of editing. Also follow these tips. Try editing your topics in random order rather than in sequence. The basic trick helps ensure a suitable and accessible organization for your readers. Make each Make each topic clearly focused. One sign of a clearly focused topic is that it answers one question about one subject for one purpose. To ensure coherence in a topic, first write a single question that the topic is meant to answer. Then judge whether the content is in that topic fully answer that question. Link to long examples and to overview, background, reference, or supplementary information. For example, place concise summaries of the content in a bulleted list and link to great detail, or link to basic concepts. Readers can link to the material only if they need to. Accommodate scanning and searching, make it as easy as possible for your readers to grasp the main point of each topic in your document. Do the following. Get right to the point. Never bury your main message in the middle of a paragraph or page. State your main point or conclusion upfront, as warranted. Create separate paragraphs or pages to emphasize other points. Use more heads, lists, and tables. The frequent use of heads, breakups, reverse of narrative text, bulleted list highlight information in a concise format that encourages scanning. Tables enhance reader comprehension by organizing data compactly in a logical, readable format. Give the precise location of related information. Avoid the as shown above syndrome. Do not write or edit as if your users will be reading the document from beginning to end. If you refer to another section of the document, consider creating a link or name the section. Example, installing a hard drive. Make pronoun reference explicit. Whatever it or this refers to might have scrolled off the reader's screen. Unclear pronouns also annoy readers. Create descriptive heads and page titles. Heads and page titles should clearly explain the topic addressed on each page in terms that reflect your reader's perspective. Avoid cute, clever, or cryptic head as well as head that reflect only the writer's perspective. Also avoid generic heads such as introduction. Remember, when readers scan a page, all they really see at the first are the page title and heads. Even when context is supplied by surrounding text or graphics, the limitations of screen reading make that context less effective in terms of giving readers clues about meaning. Therefore, the page title and heads must represent the content of page well. Heads and page titles are important types of micro content, but there are others: link text, alt text, subheads, and highlighted words. Micro content introduces, summarizes, or enhances macro content, the real beat of your document. In the online world, when other sites link to or discuss your document, the micro content that you create might be displayed out of context. So, your prospective readers could have trouble discerning the nature of your document. Usability expert Jacob Nielsen Neil, Neil Nielsen recommends that micro-content be an ultra-short abstract of its associated micro-content. Use plain language and place the most important words first to help readers scan text more effectively. Next is editing structure navigation. Often it can be difficult to see how the various parts of an online document are related to each other. Unlike in print, online readers only view one screen at a time, making it harder to envision the entire structure. Various limitations: small screen size, the slowness of scrolling compared to turning pages, and lower text resolution require readers to depend on explicit structural cues rather than the look and feel on the whole document. To improve the structure and navigation of an online document, follow these tips. Make the structure obvious and easy to navigate. A reader path through your online document might be unpredictable, but the structure of that document should not be. Readers require a clear sense of how the document is organized so they can move through its structure easily. An, an online editor, your an online editor, your goal is to reduce the risk of disorientation. Readers should not become lost in cyberspace, retracting their steps, or moving forward with no clear idea of where they are going. An effective hypertext structure is organized according to a simple, meaningful pattern, offers links that anticipate readers' needs, features consistent visual design such as the consistent placement of navigation links or the use of colors and icons to identify different sections, clearly identify main structural divisions. Your document's homepage or opening screen can identify the main structural division of the document and also functions as a table of contents. If if this page establishes a consistent visual design, if it teaches readers where to look for various types of information such as navigation links. However, remember that readers can enter your document at other points. Therefore, ideally, you should identify and link to your document's main structural divisions from every page. Anticipate likely paths when considering which links to create. Anticipate your readers' probable paths. With association would which association would benefit them. Let their needs, expectations, and interest guide your link choices. The goal is to provide readers with opportunities, not to order them around. However, these opportunities should not be endless. You must still set priorities in your document and point readers in relevant directions. Also, watch out for page turning. Page turning occurs when you break up text in sequential chunks and include at the bottom of each page.
Click here for next page. Page turning is a poor solution to the problem of scrolling text. A better solution is to redesign the text and structure of your document to take advantage of the power and versatility of hypertext. Try to find a way to provide access to all major parts of the documents from any given pages. Editing links online readers often experience disorientation or wayfinding problems when traversing links. Therefore, as an online editor, you should ensure that your readers remain fully oriented and in control as they navigate through your documents or to other documents. Follow these tips to keep readers oriented, prevent readers from getting lost. Effective links offer contextual clues about their link destination. However, all too often links are ambiguous, dumping readers into unfamiliar territory with insufficient explanations. To reduce like to reduce the likelihood of disorientation, choose links that create adequate context for readers. Choose carefully which words you designate as the link as well as which text surrounds that link. If possible, supply explanatory text before the actual descriptive link. This strategy helps readers understand where each link leads and why it was chosen. Good example of descriptive link text and preceding explanatory context for a list of Sun Enterprise 3500 system component C, Appendix C, illustrate parts breakdown, poor example of link text. Click here to learn more. There are lots of resources for software engineers. Keep in mind that blind readers can configure their web page audio readers to read only the link text on a page. So a page full of click here links provide virtually no text. Sometimes you might want to might want to explicitly cue readers when a link is external and takes them away from your site as opposed to internal. This strategy helps when the sites you link to might not be immediately distinguishable from your own. Icons can serve as cues. For example, on the website of the US Environmental Protection Agency, external links are marked with an exit EPA icon. However, in most cases, you can simply provide sufficient context in your link text. If the possibility of losing your audiences in the middle of your documents concern you, consider placing all external links in a resource section at the end of the document. Create links that aid scanning. Online readers tend to quickly scan a document before they invest their attention in carefully reading it. Links which stand out visually from the rest of the text are one of the elements on a page that attract attention during scanning. Therefore, the links on a page should collectively offer context about what the page contains, not just about where each link leads. Imagine that your page contains only a title, head, subheads, and links, as well as images, if any. Would those elements alone give you a basic idea of what you would find if you read the whole page? Also, pay attention to the length of your links. 1 to 3 words generally works best, as long as those words are context rich. Usually, a link that runs the full length of a line or sentence is too difficult to scan. Include links that readers expect to find in part. You include links to answer readers' questions, such as where can I find more details on topic dash. Readers typically come to your document searching for information. So you should try to provide what they are looking for. Ideally, linked text should correspond for readers search task.
Next is editing online writing style. To edit for an effective online style, you should vigorously apply the principles of clear writing while attending to the differences between online and print text. Short topics written in short paragraphs using simple language are ideal. Make the writing concise and each word must count. The limitations of the screen reading dictate that the text get right to the point. Tightening up the writings can lead to a shortened document, making it less likely that readers will become fatigued. However, watch out for choppiness, the need for coherence overrides the need for brevity. If your text starts to sound choppy, you must have tightened it up too much. To tighten the text, follow these tips. Use the active voice. Do not write like a bureaucrat. Use primarily simple declarative and imperative sentence structure. Embedded clauses risk falling on the boundary between two scrolling zones. Use affirmative sentences structure wherever possible. Specify what is true, not what is false. Avoid turning verbs into nouns. For example, use investigated rather than conducted an investigation. Eliminate Eliminate pre-proportional phrases wherever possible. Use concrete, specific words, not abstract words. Adopt the reader's vocabulary and perspective. When possible, do not afraid to use the second person you. Avoid unnecessary jargon. Next is copy editing. The editorial process is not complete without copy editing and proofing. These processes are much the same for the online and print documents, checking for correctness, spelling, grammar, and punctuation, consistency of capitalization, and other mechanics, accuracy of information, and completeness. Copy editing online documents also requires that you scan the final pages for consistency in visual design, text test links, and evaluate the document for readability. Since screen text is less legible than quality print text. At this stage of the process, basic HTML skills are very valuable to the online editor. It helps if you can go into the HTML documents and make minor changes correctly, making handwritten marks up to a printout and handing it to someone else to implement is usually too slow and opens the process to the possibility of last minute errors. However, if you spot last minute design issues that affect page elements other than text, discuss them with the designer rather than implementing them yourself. Use consistent text formatting from the reader's perspective. Variation in text formatting signal different types of information as well as structural division in a document. Make these variations consistent. Often the font is not specified in HTML documents. In such cases, the text displays in the default font and size specified by the reader's web browser. In fact, the practice usually is desirable since you never know what fonts readers have on their computers. Therefore, keep in mind that line breaks, paragraph lengths, and other text elements might look slightly different to each reader. Check whether the overall look of a text on a page presents any obvious problem with various common fonts and types and sizes. Type sizes. Using a style sheet and template throughout the editorial process encourages consistency in font type size and spacing. Watch out for arbitrary shifts in color, although color selection and design issue. The application of color can be an editorial issue when it is used to signal different types of information in a document or to differentiate document selection. Color can enhance comprehension or it can make the document look confusing or cluttered. For instance, a deliberate change of banner color can signal a different type of content. However, an arbitrary shift of color example of the background can cause readers to assume instance incorrectly that something significant about the content has changed. If link colors are specified in your HTML document, check that these colors are applied consistently throughout the work. Do all links not yet followed appear in the same color? Do all links previously visited appear in the same color? Do different link colors indicate different types of links? And is this distinction made clear to the reader? Verify that links go where they promise before a document goes live. All internal and external links should be tested to make sure that they work as intended. Some web development environments or tools such as Macromedia, Dreamweaver, or Alire Homesite offer automated link checking. If your document has many links and is if this option is available to you, use it. It might save you it might save you a lot of time in spotting broken links. However, keep in mind that automatic link checking usually cannot tell you if a link leads to the wrong page. Therefore, if you have you should manually check all or most links to ensure that they not only work but in fact lead to the correct destination. Also review your link text and the text surrounding your links one last time to make sure that all links offer clear context as to where they will take the reader. Ensure that text is readable. Text is less legible on the screen, so online editors should ensure that words and phrases are legible in this display environment. Next is writing. The term collaborative writing refers to a project where written works are created by multiple people together collaboratively rather than individually. Some projects are overseen by an editor or editorial team, but many grow without any oversight. Collaborative writing is also an approach for teaching novice authors to write. In a true collaborative environment, each contributor has an almost equal ability to add, edit, or remove text. The writing process becomes a recursive task where each change prompts other to make more changes. It is easier to do if the group has a specific end goal in mind and harder if a goal is absent or vague. Using collaborative writing tools can provide substantial advantages to project ranging from increased user commitment to easier, more effective and efficient work processes. It is often the case that when users can directly contribute to an effort and feel that they have made a difference, they become more involved with and attached to the outcome of the project. The users then feel more comfortable contributing time, effort, and personal pride into the final product, resulting in a better final outcome. In addition, collaborative writing tools have made it easier to design better work processes. These tools provide ways to monitor what users are contributing and when they contribute so managers can quickly verify that assigned work is being completed. Since these tools typically provide revision tracking, it has also made data sharing simpler. Users won't have to keep track of what version is the current working revision since the software has automated that. Furthermore, because this software this software sorry this software typically provides ways for users to chat in real time. Projects can be completed faster because users do not have to wait for others users to respond by means like emails. Another advantage is that since this software makes it easy for users to contribute from anywhere in the world, projects can benefit from the inclusion of perspectives from people all around the world. Collaborating writings has been the subject of academic research and business for over 2 decades. A number of authors have written on the subjects and each have slightly different views on the strategies of for collaborative writing. Next is writing strategies. According to Laurie et al., there are 5 collaborative writing strategies. Single Single author writing occurs when one team member writes a representative for the entire team. Single author writers usually occurs when the writing task is simple. Sequential single writing. In sequential single author writing, one group member writes at a time. Each group member is assigned a portion of the document, writes his or her portion, and then passes the document on to the next group member. Parallel writing is the type of collaborative writing that occurs when a group divides the assignment or document into separate parts and all members work on their assigned parts at the same time. There are 2 types of parallel writing. Horizontal division parallel writing occurs when group members divide the task into sections, each member being responsible for the development of his or her assigned section. Stratified division parallel writing occurs when group members When group members divide responsibilities of the creation of the product by assigning different members different roles. Some examples of roles that a member could be assigned are author, editor, facilitator, or team leader. Reactive writers Reactive writers occurs when team members synchronously collaborate synchronously to develop their product. Team members react to and adjust each other's contribution as they are made. Mixed mode. This term describes a form of writing that mixes two or more of the collaborative writing strategies described above. On Rubia and Angel also proposed five main strategies for the collaborative elaboration of written products. Palette construction. Cut and paste. Each group member contributes with a different part of the completed task and the final document is constructed through a juxta juxtapositioning of these different parts without the contribution of other co-authors. Divide and conquer. Parallel construction. Puzzle. Each group member contributes with an initial document with the entirely or partially completed task, and the final document is constructed through the juxtapositioning of small ex extracted parts of the initial contribution of other co-authors. Sequential summative construction. One group member presents a document that constitutes an initial, partial, or complete proposal for the task resolution, and the rest of the participants successively add their contribution to this initial document without modifying what has been previously written, hence systematically accepting what is added by other co-authors. Next is authoring tips and techniques. For each methodology, the key issue is how the work is divided based on the results of the study conducted by Eddy and Lunsford. There are seven organizational patterns for the collaborative authoring. One, Number one, the team plans and outlines the task. Each writer prepares his or her part, and the group compiles the individual's parts and revises the whole document as needed. The team plans and outline the work writing task. One member prepares a draft and the team edits and revises the drafts. One member of the team plans and writes a draft, then the group revises the draft. One person plans and writes a draft, then one or more member revise the draft without consulting the original authors. The group plans and writes the draft. One or more members revise the draft without consulting the original authors. One person assigns the task, each member completes the individual task, and one person compiles and revises the document. One dictates, another transcribes and edits. Result Results from the study indicated that the percentage of writing groups that use these methods often or very often ranges from 3% method 5 to 31%. Next is writing process. Eddy and Lunsford also examined the level of satisfaction of authors participating in the group writing process, finding that satisfaction is influenced by eight items. Number one, the degree to which goals are articulated and shared, the degree of openness and mutual respect, the degree of control the writers have over the text, the degree to which writers can respond to others who modify the text, the way in which credit is acknowledged, the presence of an agreed upon procedure for managing conflicts and resolving disputes, the number and types of bureaucratic constraints imposed on the authors, for example deadlines, technical legal requirements, the status the status of the project within the organization. Collaborative writing is used by educators to teach novice authors of all ages and educational levels to write. A collaborative approach to demonstrate the basics of writing to children was developed in 1980s and 1990s for use in early literacy program. In what is called shared writing, a teacher acts as the scribe while children think aloud each sentence. This allows them to focus on generating ideas without the burden of writing. As the children become familiar with the writing process, they pass to interactive writing where they write under the guidance of the teacher. Number 11. More recently, shared and interactive writing approaches have been applied in adult literacy programs, doctoral research writing groups, and academic co-authoring, especially when participants differ in such status or experience. Example: professor and students. It is also used as a didactic didactic form of developmental editing in support of non-native English-speaking scientists who need to write in English but at the same time are novice authors in any language. In such cases, a writing mentor, example, a teacher of academic writing, or a non or an author editor, uses guided discussions think aloud to help the researchers express their ideas and organize them according to the research paper genre. The goal is to quickly train such novice researcher authors to become independent writers. Thank you so much.